We begin with our first bout of the evening. It is set for 3 2-minute rounds at 145 pounds, and it is kickboxing. Introducing first, fighting on the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, please welcome Bailey Johansen.
You heard of fight fans, that's Big Mo. I am J.R. Gordon, joined by Todd Romero. We are welcoming Bailey Hansen to the ring right now. We're going to get it kicked off with some kickboxing. We do have kickboxing and boxing and Muay Thai and MMA and title fights. Todd, what a great way to kick off the last show of the year.
Really, 4 disciplines, which is going to be awesome for fight fans. Got the ring, got the cage going, starting it off with the ladies. The one good thing about that, when you start it off with the ladies, the crowd jumps into it right away, JR.
Absolutely. They always bring it. Always a great show with the ladies in the ring. And this is going to be an elimination kickboxing fight. On your screen right now, you're checking out Bailey Johansen. She lists her style as kickboxing and Muay Thai. Coming out of the Renegade Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA gym. And they are just doing such a great job out of that gym up in northern Colorado. Has really sprung onto the scene hardcore about the last 2 years.
Yeah, starting to see more and more fighters out of there, and they have a good following. The corner guys that you see come in, all kind of connected there, and you rise together because you start getting more numbers in, which means you get more experience in there and more fights as you go.
And both these fighters in our first bout of the evening are making their debuts. So don't have any tape on them or anything, but I always love watching the debut fighters because 2 years from now, we're going to be saying, wow,
Remember when. Well, the other thing, too, about debut fights is, number one, you're not smart enough to be scared about anything, or if you're scared, you don't know any better.
Exactly.
You know, and that's kind of what the thing is, because until you get in there, get the adrenaline flowing and feel what it's like in that ring, and you start out with, you know, Muay Thai, you start with kickboxing, and see how that discipline goes. Do you change to MMA? It depends on what is in store for you. But anytime there's a first-time fight, I think, you know, there's obviously a feeling out period for most fighters. Now, if you can be your first fight and you just jump right into action, there's where the difference comes.
And her opponent, fighting on the Larry H. Miller Auto Group blue corner, featuring Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Fiat on Havana, and Nissan on Arapahoe, please welcome Michele Knight.
All right, there you see it, Michele Knight again, as JR said, a debut fight. Nickname is the Savage, 5 foot 6 inches tall, Muay Thai style, at Cedar City, Utah. 0-0-0. So the O must go for somebody tonight. And you know, those fighters coming up. The great thing about this discipline and about Sparta Combat League is you're drawing regionally. We even see fighters from the East Coast roll in here, and that's good to see because it gets other interests going, gets you different style of fighters, and you see how these fighters adjust at elevation. Coming from Utah shouldn't be much of a problem.
Agreed. Checking out the tail of the tape here. I'll run it down for Johansen. She's 23 years old, making her debut at 5'1". It is a 145-pound bout. Lists herself as a striker.
Well, and looking at Michele Knight, 38, so 15 years older, so perhaps some angry mom in there. You know, you got to get that in the corner. 5'6", 145 pounds. Listener style is Muay Thai. Looks like she's in great shape from first looks. And listen, we've seen it time and time again in this sport. Older fighters, now she's a debut fighter, but fighters that get to be 38, they kind of know their way around. Interesting to find out how she comes out and see what her background has been.
Well, they talk about dad strength. Let's see if Michele Knight
Some
brings
mom
in
strength.
some mom strength.
Absolutely. Getting checked out right now. For what it's worth, she doesn't look 38. That's always a compliment when you're talking about the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Good crowd out here tonight. A little bit chilly in Colorado tonight. A little snow coming, but not inside as we get ready to roll.
Big Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is brought to you by Rocky View Dental, the official private practice of Sparta Sports and Entertainment. Let's meet our fighters first. Fighting on the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, from Greeley, Colorado, representing Renegade, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and MMA, Bailey Johansen. And her opponent, fighting on the Larry H. Miller Auto Group blue corner, featuring Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Fiat on Havana, and Nissan on Arapahoe. From Cedar City, Utah, representing Empire MMA, Michele the Savage Knight.
Johansen in the red and black, Knight in the black and white. Referee Oscar Martinez, third in the ring, also wearing black and white.
Instructions. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up. Back to your corners.
All right, here we go. Kicking off the last show of the year for 2019 Sparta Sports and Entertainment.
2020, didn't know if I'd be around for that, JR. You never know.
Punchy kicky time. Here we go.
Big blows right away going up top, JR.
Thing that I'm noticing right away is how light Knight is on her feet. But bringing the pressure forward, Johansen, and striking with positive effect.
Yeah, one thing you see right now is Johansen's coming out and letting it go right away. We'll see how long her stamina is, but she's certainly got some power, JR.
Yeah, Knight is feeling those punches. She's winced and had her head snap back a couple of times.
Starting to adjust a little bit. Leg kick got the attention. That opened her up top.
Did. That was a nice leg kick. Started to buckle the leg of Knight.
Absolutely.
Johansen goes back to it.
And it's interesting to see these amateur fighters, how they adjust in that first minute or two of fight. Another strong leg kick.
Yeah, third leg kick, and that front leg's starting to go already on Knight.
Well, and that front leg goes, and it's opened her up for some shots to the chin as well. There's that jab. Start working some jabs. Start getting something back there to fight back.
Knight doing something that a lot of fighters early in their career do, in that she's pushing both hands forward. Anytime she moves one hand, the other hand comes forward with it, and it's leaving her head open.
Yeah, absolutely,
and
JR.
Johansen able to take advantage of that.
And she's rolling some haymakers right now. Knight doesn't seem too disappointed right now with the reaction. Doesn't seem like she's getting in too much trouble. But early on, they did land a couple shots. 10 seconds left.
Clacker
Yep.
sounded, yes, sir. And Johansen looking just a bit more disciplined. Again, the debut fight for both fighters. No matter what you do in the gym, it's just not the same as being in a real fight in the ring.
No, Johansen's got more power, as we've seen JR early in this first round. For Knight, she's got to start throwing some punches straight instead of looping. Those looping punches are going to leave her wide open.
And again, I'll reference, she needs to not be moving both hands at the same time. Leave at least one hand up to guard or counter with.
Absolutely.
And over in the corner of Johansen, not even making use of the stool, so showing off her conditioning.
Powerful leg kicks that really left some things open for her.
Absolutely, and like you talked about, she'd throw those leg kicks and it would provide an opening up top.
Seconds out.
Waiting for the corner man to make his exit.
Yep, got it. Want to make sure things are right here. Knight in the all black, Bailey Johansen with the red.
And Johansen setting up the leg kick with combinations. Nicely done.
Oh, yeah, a
and
couple
going
combinations.
With the uppercut.
Yeah. A couple big shots there, but again, you see the double punches right there. Knight can take a punch, that's the one thing.
So it looks like the corner of Johansen was in her ear about throwing some combinations, and she's putting them together nicely here to start round two.
Scored there with that right, it looked like. Again, I think you're right as far as a little more disciplined, a little more ring savvy early on for Johansen.
In Johansen, you can tell she's throwing patterned combinations. She's throwing things that she's worked on the mix. She's not just moving her hands for whatever she happens to see open. And it's really paying dividends for her, especially as she's mixing in the leg kicks with it.
Yeah, those leg kicks, they can devastate an opponent, take your attention off what you need to do to defend yourself.
A couple of deep breaths from both fighters about halfway through the fight.
Nice kidney shot there. Nice overhand right by Knight. She finally countered with something.
You were talking about how she needed to throw straight punches, and that's the one that connected.
Yeah.
That's the one that came right down the pipe.
Little front kick that helps keep the pressure off, too. Haven't seen the front kick much from her.
Yeah, really minimal kicking in this bout so far. We've referenced the leg kicks of Johansen a few times, but definitely a couple of fighters that favor their handwork.
Yeah, and early on you see that big overhand right there. Didn't have a lot of power on the tail end.
10-second clackers sounded. And at the end of that round there, the corner of Knight was calling for the clinch and knees, and we really haven't seen any clinch work so far.
He's going to avoid the stool again in the second round.
Could be a little bit of a psychological ploy too. Show your opponent, hey, I don't even need to sit down. I got this.
Definitely has some strength, I'll tell you that. I mean, some of those shots, you learn every fight you're in, and when you're a debut fight, you just don't know what to expect, how your opponent's going to react. Say Knight can take a punch, though.
And especially coming from out of state, you're not even necessarily familiar with the gym that you're fighting against. No, a lot of times in state, you're at least, well, okay, such and such gym favors leg kicks. Such and such gym really works their combination. Such and such gym, they always have great conditioning. You don't even know that coming so far out of state. But conversely, Johansen's corner doesn't know probably very much about the Empire game either. And again, taking a long time for
the corner to clear.
For the corner to get out of there.
Yeah, Johansen looks like she's in shape, I'll tell you that much. Nice starting with a kick. Johansen's coming in, punching.
Anytime that these two are within punching range, they're doing a really nice job of keeping their hands moving. They're taking a little bit of a break when they're outside to the distance, but really nice job of never being static when they're within striking range.
Yeah,
there's the knee strikes that the corner of Knight was calling for.
Listen, sometimes in an amateur, in a debut fight, you see one fighter that doesn't throw much. Hey, both these fighters are trying to throw what they have.
I can hear the corner.
Ooh, good overhand right by Knight.
Hear the corner of Knight calling for the right head kick. Let's see if she's able to listen and throw that into her game plan.
Listening to your corner is one of the biggest things you can do, JR. And as a debut fight, you get in there, sometimes that skill goes away.
It is such, you said just what I was going to say, it is such a skill. And she did go upstairs with the kick. She is here in her corner, nicely done.
Boy, it's always dangerous to rotate out of there showing the back of your head.
Yeah, that'll be something the referee, even sometimes they'll stop the fight if they feel you're turning away.
Knight's starting to get a little bit of momentum. It may be a little too late. We'll see. She's got about a minute late in this fight, but scoring with those knees a little bit.
Oh, and definitely turned away there.
Yeah.
And that got the attention of the referee. I think he said something.
I think Bailey Johansen's losing a little bit of energy and stamina. Of course, you're in the third round.
I was going to say, and why not? She's been pressuring forward hard for 3 rounds. And a nice toe-to-toe flurry out of both these fighters.
Yeah.
Johansen scores well again, able to get Knight to turn. So we're going to take this one to the judges' scorecards.
Yeah, Knight, in that third round, I saw 3 times where she had turned, left the back of her head open, something you got to learn from, and she will from that first fight.
Absolutely. Go home, watch the tape on this, and take it as the learning experience that it should be.
She started to get score, had some shots scored late in that round, but I think for the most of that fight, Bailey Johansen was the aggressor.
38 years old, making her fight debut. Way to go. Nicely done.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 full rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard for a
30-27.
decision.
Yes.
All 3 judges scored about 30-27, declaring a winner by unanimous decision, Bailey Johansen.
All right, Bailey Johansen going to go get a post-fight interview with our own Bailey Winters. Congratulations to the Renegade MMA fighter.
All right, guys, I'm back here now with your winner, Bailey Johansen. Bailey, this was your return to the ring after a couple years off. You had a couple of kids. How did it feel to get back in there?
It felt great. My team really helped me. We've been working our asses off, so I mean, all my thanks goes to them right now. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. So thank you, everybody at Renegade. Renegade strong, baby!
Your game plan looked like you wanted to be aggressive. You moved forward that whole time, threw a lot of punches, stayed active. Was that what you were planning on doing in there?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to get on the inside. I'm more of a striker, as you probably could tell tonight. I tried to work more of my kicks in, still kind of learning those, but the game plan was to get on the inside and do what I know how to do.
You landed a lot of heavy punches. You were attacking that lead leg a little bit too, and just so much activity. By that 3rd round, it looked pretty exhausting.
Yeah, it was. I probably should have listened to my coaches a little better about slowing it down and everything, but you get out there, the adrenaline's running, and you're just like, let's do this. So that's what I did.
Congratulations on a great win. I'm sure there's more people that you want to thank.
Yes, especially my kiddos. I see them right there. Mommy loves you guys. My family, everybody at the gym. I'm serious. Renegade has made me so much more confident as a fighter. I appreciate all the love from Jesus and Coach Eddie. Nothing but thanks and love to Eddie especially. He's really helped me out a lot.
Congratulations again. Great job.
Whoa, 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 slow up there. I'm not sure where you think you're going. Do you know who I am? Do you know where you are right now? Well, I'm Big Mo, and this is Sparta, and we don't just let anyone go out there and fight for us. You see, if you're not ready to walk out into that ring, look around and see all those fans going crazy, then I'm gonna need you to turn around and walk the other way. Oh, you are ready. All right then, go to SpartaSC.com and fill out the fighter application. I think we're ready to ride.